This is our fifth session, and in this session, before we step into animation, see, when we were doing the tracking, so I was loading the images one by one. So I was first going to load aeroplane, then the ball, then the car. Now you may think, see, what happens if I load all the three together? Will it work? So to answer this, I am going to take a few minutes to explain you the logic behind this. The image tracking consists of two stages here. First, as soon as you start your augmented reality application, the camera is sending the image to the AR engine, and the AR engine is continuously searching whether the image has any of the tracked images. This process is called as detection, and when detection is taking place, what happens is it is constantly searching for the image, and once the image is searched, the augmented reality engine shifts from detection to tracking. Tracking means now the augmented reality application is concentrated more on how the image is moving. As you move the image, the 3D model has to move. So here you have two processes. First is the detection and the second is the tracking. In case of using the computational power, in case of detection, when it is detecting, it is going to use less computational power, but in case of tracking, it is going to actually consume more of the computational power. Means initially when the image is detected, the computational power that the AR engine is using will be less because it is concentrating on just seeing the pattern. But once the pattern is detected, as the pattern keeps moving, now it has to adjust to that position, and the augmented reality is going to use more computational power. Now the next option here is how much speed it takes to execute it. Now in case of detection, now initially when you hold the image, say for example, even if it takes 1 second or 2 seconds, it is not going to affect your performance. So when you hold the image in front and wait for 1 or 2 seconds, and then if it detects it, there is no issue. Because, so that's why when it comes to the speed to execute, now detection is going to use lesser means speed, means it is going to take more time. And now when it comes to tracking, now what happens in case of tracking, as you are moving it, if by chance the tracking stops, your image has moved but the model would have not moved. So that's why in case of tracking, the speed of execution should be more. It should execute faster. This is the second concept. The next is the accuracy level. When it comes to accuracy level, in case of image detection, it should be very accurate, and it will take more time. Because it is more accurate, it is going to take more time. So the speed of execution will be less. In tracking, when you are moving the model, by chance if 4 or 5 frames gets missed, you need not worry, because the thing is, since it is continuously moving, some frames if it misses, it's not going to create much of a problem. So the accuracy level during tracking will be less. Since the accuracy level is less, the speed of execution will be more. Okay. Now the next factor here is what is the maximum number, that is how much images can I scale it. Instead of 1 image, can I scale in 2 images, 3 images, 4 images, how many images I can scale it? The scalability in detection is more, because it is more accurate, it can actually measure more images. But when it comes to tracking, Now in case of tracking, what happens? If you have, see, even if you keep 5 images, it will detect very easily and the models will be loaded. But when you move those images, based on the movement of that images to move the models, this accuracy and this scalability is less. Means you can load more models, but if you want to track it, you cannot do it for large number of models. So according to the MindAR website, it says that it can detect 1000 images and it can track 10. Means even if you have 1000 images, it can detect those 1000 images. But as the image starts moving, if you want to track it, then the maximum images it can track is 10. But for all practical applications, the thing is, always see that your models, that is scalability, practically if you consider, it should be 30 to 50. That's the maximum images that you can allot. And if in case of tracking, see that you doesn't have more than 3 to 5 images. So when you are building your augmented reality application, if you are just going to measure the image and display something, like you have some 50 images, and for every image, say you have 50 city names, and as soon as you hold your phone, every city temperature it should show. What is the climate temperature there? In this case, you can have 30 to 50 detection process, because there you are not going to move those images. But if you are loading 3D images in augmented reality, and if you are going to track it, then do not use more than 3 to 5 images. Now the final question is, can we track multiple images? Yes, you can do it. And to do it, practically speaking, in our code, we are not going to make any huge changes. Now coming to our main.js file, the only thing I have to add here is, after this image target src, after this in the top in MindAR3 we had added two values, container document.body and image target src as .abc.mind. Now here what you have to do is press enter, and you have to just add another parameter which is max in small letter, then T is capital. Max track means at a time maximum how much images it should track. And now in our case it is 3, and I will end it with comma. So this is the only change we have to do. Just add max track 3 and comma in this const MindAR3 constructor, and later now if I execute my web application, now I will open my simple web server and I have focused it to my folder here, AR flashcards, and then if I now come to my browser, so I will open my browser, and in my browser I am going to type localhost :8080, and when I press enter, so now it is asking permission to use your webcam. I will click allow, and this time see, I am going to take 3 images together, and you can see that all the images are tracked. See, aircraft is tracked. See, all the 3 are tracked together. Due to some lighting issue here, you are not able to see it correctly. Okay, so if I remove it, I will open it and show it to you. See, all the images, so see, all the 3 are tracked correctly. Can you see this? So this tracking is now, multiple tracking is working fine. As I told in the last session itself, it is not getting animated. Now how to add animation to our GLTF models, this let us discuss in our next session. Thank you.